So here's what I do. And this is where experience, this is where, old guys who, we've been around and stuff like that. We come along and we say, well, son, you're a mighty fine boy, but you still got a lot to learn. So. Welcome to Chimes at Midnight. Since our first video, we've talked about big rocks.
Big rocks.
And today, at last, we're going to tell you how to make those big rocks in a kind of production line environment for a home bar. I'm no expert on all of the equipment that one needs to make big rocks, but I've tried at least half dozen, and I've looked into things like automatic ice makers, and the one that has stood out for me and that I have come to use, and other people who are Chimes at Midnight use on their own, is this one. It's made by an outfit called Clearly Frozen. It turns out that Clearly Frozen has excellent customer service, as our producer Rick Glugg can attest. What happened, Rick, when this inner part...
David, that liner shattered. The ice was so big that it shattered. And I contacted Jim at Clearly Frozen, and he just sent me a free replacement with a very friendly note. Highly recommended, clearlyfrozen.com.
Clearly Frozen. So not only do they have good customer service, and by the way, I've never had one shatter, and I've been using these now for at least a couple of years. But they work beautifully. So here's how you make big rocks with the Clearly Frozen ice maker. So, here's how you make it first. So, take it apart. This is important for him because he's going to be doing this professionally. Now take this, and what you got to do is let this get hot. Set that right on here, turn it the other way. That's what I do. He's going to find his own way. All right, now bring it so that it starts to fill up. Oh, you could do that too. You can mark this thing, and that's it. Stop. Okay. Now what you got to do is turn this all the way to cold, because the next step is to get cold. But while it's happening, put that in there. And what you want. Now, Kyle, you got to get really close and shine it right down. And you can see that. You can see it's, look at the side. It's almost up there. Keep in mind that ice, it does expand, right, as it freezes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It expands as it freezes. So this is just about perfect. Now, what I like to do is turn it down. Okay, let it fill slowly, moving it around as you go. This is, okay, we're not teaching this boy to eat fish. We're teaching this boy how to catch big rock. And just to say, I fill it right up to the top. Oh, look at that. Now you put it in the styrofoam container, and then you put it in the freezer. And then, one of the things you've got to learn to do is find out how long it takes your freezer to freeze your big rocks. Then 22 to 24 hours later in my freezer, you go in. Now, here's the tricky part that he doesn't know about. Let's see if he can get that. First, the blue one and the white one out of the styrofoam. Aha. See, this is where having a father helps. Oh, no, wait! Don't do it. Hold on. Let me show you. You can see yeah. So here's what I do. And this is where experience, this is where, old guys who, we've been around and stuff like that. We come along and we say, well, son, you're a mighty fine boy, but you still got a lot to learn. So, we stick it in there, and we stick it in there. He's loving it. Kyle, did you get his feet? This is one of the advantages of a home bar, or when you make big ice, is you don't need footwear. All right, now watch this. Uh-huh. Am I right? Look at it. Now, pops out. Okay, now you got it. Now, the next step is what I do is I like to put a little bit of hot water on the sides here. And here, you can let it seep in if you want. But if it doesn't, come out easily, which this is. Hear it? Hear it gurgling? Can you hear that? You love that? Now, two things. One is, you see that ice at the bottom?
I do.
There's no reason to throw that away.
Perfectly good. Perfectly good ice.
Perfectly good ice. And you see how clear it is?
Beautiful.
Uh-huh. So, what I do, here.
How can that be? It's made with hot water.
Put a little hot water on the edges there. What you want to do is kind of melt it toward the middle. He's a quick learner. He's doing fine. So what you want to do is break the blue tray free of the ice like that. No problem for him. That's where the useful strength comes in handy. And then, what I do typically is, look at him. Wait, hold one of those up. Show it to Kyle. Have you seen a more perfect ice cube in your lives?
Never.
Never. Of course not. Yep.
So clear I can't even see it.
There you go. Makes 10 cubes. They're approximately, 2 by 2, 1.5 by 1.5. And what you do when you finally got your cubes all made, is what I do anyway, is just put them into a plastic bag and...
Careful with those tubes, man.
You're right. Oh, Alex should be taken over here. There you go. Plastic bag. Then you put that, seal it up. Put it back into the refrigerator. And then if I had destroyed the one that was ready to go in, you would just put this baby in. And now, and if you got an iPhone, which some of you might have, you could, just put a timer on for 22 hours and it would buzz you. And then at 22 hours you come back. Or if you have a child, you could have them do it, but don't depend on that. So anyway, that's how you make big rocks. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make big rocks, which could be the most important thing in your life. If you come back for our next episode, we'll show you how to use those big rocks in 2 drinks that we think are classics that are worth knowing about. The Rob Roy, which is a Scotch-based cocktail, and the Monte Carlo, which is a long-standing classic that's way overlooked. So, meantime, here's to you from Chimes at Midnight. This is where Cameron's father helps. Now the next step is probably the most critical step, maybe in all of bartending.